pause me and do them at your own pace. I'm gonna give us about, I don't know, 1 minute. Um, I just taught an aerial class right before this, so I'm not gonna do my conditioning, but I am gonna leave a timer for a minute in this to either do 15, 20. You can do them on your knees or your toes, but your best effort push-ups. Okay. So now let's go into into we're gonna do a minute of abs. I'm gonna do bicycle. You can do, I like to, I don't know what it is about abs, but I feel like we all have one that we do like or don't like. So I'm gonna, there's a few I do and don't like, but I tend to make abs a little bit of a dealer's choice option. So starting my timer for 1 minute again, I'm gonna do bicycle. You're more than welcome to do it with me or do your own. And go. We're halfway done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move into our chains conditioning. Please move this up. All right. Let's start with our high knee. We're going to start with our rows. Good old fashioned rows. So let's do three each. Three. Let's do five total. I think I usually make people do 10, but 10 is kind of miserable. Every time I do them and with them, I'm always, it's a struggle. It's definitely a struggle. So you're more than welcome to do 10, but I think I'm going to be realistic and we're going to do five. Kind of hard to do both directions here. So I usually just bring my hands into the chains and grab like I'm making a fist. Dropping down. My hands kind of come towards me, and then I'm going to bring my chest 5 times. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, 5 is like almost too easy, but I feel like 10 is miserable. So find your sweet spot in between. Also weirdly twisted. Moving into our next conditioning, I'm going to bring my body in um, into my chain, other chains in front of me, and we're doing the reverse overs. So this is one of the few times where this conditioning actually has a purpose. Not a purpose, but it had like a kind of, it goes into a move kind of. So I'm trying to find my legs in between this like middle point. Let's do 3 total. 1, 2, don't know if I need this, but we'll put it on anyway. Okay. So starting our combo today. I'm starting in the backpack position. And I guess it's like a backpack position and I'm straddling, but it's only in one. So let me show you what it looks like and then I'll break it down. So I'm in my one chain, however you get here, however you get here. So one chain, hand is on the other chain. Either it can be in left hand, it can be in right hand. It doesn't really matter. Usually what I do, because naturally I bring my hands to the chains or the loops or whatever it is that you're on to straddle, that I kind of keep the chain in the pocket of my hand while I have my thumb loose. So just breaking out that down first. The rest of this, I'm going to show the move first. Okay. So I'm kind of starting in this upside down little pike position. So the key of this pose is that I have straddled back and I have found like a comfortable upside down straddle in my one loop. And then once I'm there, I take my hands and open up my free chain and rest my legs into it. And so your head will be hanging and your legs will be straight across the chain. It's kind of like a reverse waterfall in a way. It's what I tend to call it. But I make up a lot of the names for this. So again, it looks like this with a little bit of a spin. Okay. So from that position, I'm going to be coming back up. How I'm getting there though is I'm gonna like open up my legs and kind of create a little bit of pressure in the chains that my legs are in. Otherwise, you can lose the chains, which isn't the end of the world because you can get right back into this position fairly easily. But I just don't like losing my chains because you could get hit in the face with some metal, and I think we all like to avoid that. So moving on. Straddle. Like the chains in front of my face and my legs in. And I'm going to kind of give a little bit of a straddle. As I straddle, I'm going to sit up and you're going to find the chains again. So you kind of in this like star position, but you can totally hang out here if you want. But I bring my ankles together. So we'll find that I've actually opened my legs a little bit more on one side than the other. That was why my chain wasn't evening out. But we're trying to find this position. So I've created this like diamond I got a diamond here. I've got this like triangle thing going on. And then when I bring my legs together, you have a side triangle. They're like a right and left angle triangle. So we're here. To get out of it, you're just coming the exact same way you came. Ooh. I feel like I could use this extra mat today. All over my sides. I don't want to lower these, so we're just going to add that. Okay. Been a minute since I've been on my chains. All right. So hopefully this isn't like too challenging. We've got our reverse waterfall and then we're sitting up. You can either just do it without hands or you can take your hands in front of you, like in between your legs, and you're going to grab the two chains closest to you as you sit up and bring your legs together. So moving on, we are going to find two shapes into this next pose. I'm going to take one leg off, but to do that, you have to so both of your legs have come together and they both have a chain. So you're going to have to pick a leg to go into the other chain and create pressure. with that same foot on both chains so that you can take the other leg out. So personally, I choose right leg and put it into my left loop and take my left loop out. It doesn't matter. We are all going to have a side that we prefer. I kind of think of it as if like I'm stepping on my foot on the gas. I think that's why I prefer my right side, because typically if you want to do your right split, you're going to want to do your left side. And I tend to like my right split, but I like the thought of my right foot controlling the chains up top. So that looks like straddle, reverse waterfall, coming up. And then I take my right foot, drive it into the left one. And then I'm going to take my left foot out. So first shape is literally just this back balance. Grabbing behind, either with your right or your left hand or both hands. You can do, if you're bendy, you can do your like king, cobra grab or dancer grab, but we're here. So this is the easier one of the two. The other one is grabbing up with the same hand as the foot that's in, and then you're going to turn to the outside. And then you can either split here, or you can just do it like Peter Pan legs. To get out of it, wow, that was like the worst way possible to get out of it. I relied on the floor. Don't do that. You are just going to sit back up. However, ideally, the way we're getting out of it is exactly how we got into it. So if my left leg is out, I'm going to put that left leg right back in, use some pressure, and separate my legs. So technically, the combo could end here. Like if I was thinking about like the combo and the moves in themselves, this is where this particular thing would end. So I'll show it again. Get out how I should actually get out. Do it with a little bit of a spin, just a little bit. Spin, straddle, nice reverse waterfall. Again, you can bring your hands in between as I straddle and open and sit up. First pose. Then taking my right hand, my right foot, and pushing it into my left one for my back balance. Grabbing up high with the same leg, turning and posing here for split. Coming back up towards the ceiling. Left leg is going to go through the chains. And here I am. And I can go back to my reverse waterfall. Inverted waterfall. Okay. And I'm coming out of it. Okay. So that is a segment in itself. Okay. But we are going to add on. So, I'm adding like one more little segment onto this little combo. So my daughter is here and she's like knocking at the window on me. So she might run out as a heads up. Oh, yep. What's up? I see the spider on there. Okay, so moving on. I'm gonna show the whole thing together at the end, but basically that's like I said, it's like if it's starting to an end. A lot of times chains combos are that way. They have like a beginning and an end that go together really well. So we are going to start though. So I'm going to start this next part very similar to how I started the last one. They'll mesh together perfectly. It'll make sense. Either you'll get it and you'll understand why they mesh together right away, or once I explain it at the end. But I'm starting still in this like backpack position, with my chains in front of me this time. So now that I like have the double mats underneath me, this part is a little bit trickier. I will say this part, in my opinion, is a little nicer when I'm actually hanging. Um, but ideally, I want to get the chain like kind of above my head here. Otherwise, the chain is like right in my neck, and personally, I like to avoid that. Yeah. So trying to extend my arms out and it's like a Y above my head, and then I'm hanging here. And then this is kind of like this first little sailboat pose where the chain, I'm still in my chain, but my other loop is in front of my face. So it's technically behind the chain, like I am. I'm also behind the chain. So from here, I am going to bring these together. And I have done other combos like this exact thing. Sometimes I do it, most of the time, I think I do it like this, where I'm in one chain, but I can avoid the neck area. And it's not as crucial to how extended and high my hands are. But that is not this, this is a new or a different combo. So hands above, coming together, creating another little like right triangle shape with my chains. So from here, you can grab and you can play around with like shapes like this. My camera's a little high. Max, to see what my feet are doing here. It's just such a little tricky area because I like to get higher on the chains when we're recording. But chains in front, bending, coming together, and you can like spin. You can grab a leg here. You can just like sit, pretend like you're sitting on a seat. There are options, but from here, the hardest part, in my opinion, of this particular move is while I am in one like comfy zone with the ribs and the chains, and both of my hands are extended and like utilizing the chains in front of me, I just straddle back with my arms and bring one leg through this like hole with the chains I'm creating. And I have also done similar poses like this, but again, usually I just so here, straddle, thread the legs through. So we can pose here. We have this little like Delilah pose. And then we can also climb up, bring that chain, make sure it goes up our thigh, and we have this pose. To get out of it, I'm going to just take that leg out, but make sure that my hands are ready to grab the chain when I'm done because there. Yeah, it's just going to be easier that way. So my daughter's playing around with the camera. You can't see her unless you saw her for the thing. But so we talked about technically we have, I mean, all of these shapes are optional. You get to make what you want, but you don't have to do the like seat or the grab pose, and you can just start and straddle. I will say though, no matter what you do, once your leg is through that chain, it so naturally it's going to go to our knee, and we need to extend so that we can go up our thigh. I like to, if my knee is there first, that's why I like to do a Delilah pose. I like to take advantage of the shapes that I find naturally before rushing into the next shape, but it's up to you. Bring the chains in front of us, finding that pose, straddling back, running one leg through, a Delilah pose there, and then coming up for like a Peter shape. Is that right? Yes. Okay. All right. I can't remember if I've done this particular shape before or not. I don't know. Everything starts to blend together, but the good news is the combo itself is different. But okay, so starting off here, just small spin. So we'll just do our little steep here, bringing my chains together, straddling, bringing my right leg through, and posing in my first pose. You can do whatever you want here. Grab up high with that same, actually both hands, as I climb, extend my leg, and I've got my Peter Pan shape. Straight leg or straight bent leg, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so from here, this is very silky. I'm going to bring my free leg through my hole. Oh, okay, my hole. Now I have both legs through here. You can kind of extend here and do this like, looks cooler once I come all the way around. It's like floating girl pose. before I bring my chest up and through. Uh-oh. What did I do? I think I hit a button on my headphones, so hopefully I'm still like audibly on here because it made a sound on my headphones. I'm getting a microphone, I swear. I actually was like, that was what we were doing when I was making people do push-ups. I was looking at microphones because this phone situation isn't working. This is our last pose. I will say this is the pinchiest pose. And this pose has like hurt my thigh here in the past. So everything, do it as you want to do it. Listen to your body. If I feel a pinch, I usually try to kind of like go back to see if I can settle the pinch. Does that make sense? So, like sometimes it is truly like a pinch of the chain. You can kind of get out of it. Sometimes your skin actually gets inside the chain, and that's like you just need to abandon the ship if that happens. So, okay. I'm gonna do that pose one more time. And I'm gonna do it without my headphones because they were trying to fall off. No, we'll just do it. We can make it work. I'm gonna show it one more time, and then I think I'll go ahead and show the whole combo together. So. Here. Straddling this pose first, or Delilah, whatever it is that you want to do. Grabbing my chains, coming up on my thigh, settling here, bringing free leg through, climbing, and then I have to like settle on that chain. Once I'm here, I have to bring my neck up high. I'm gonna come back out of it exactly how I came. I personally like to leave the free foot on the chain so I can kind of get out without my hands. And you can bring both legs back in. I don't know. I just prefer to kind of do it that way. I really feel like that's just because personally, once I'm starting to get wrapped, that last pose is real pinch. It's changey, very fabricy, and it's pinchy. Sometimes if I'm feeling comfortable in it, I'll even open up my chains and lay my chest in and kind of like float there. This pose though is very pinchy. I haven't been on my chains in a minute. So like getting up there, my thigh is like, you are not doing anything else. Ironically, the opening up the part, there's nothing more, like there's no more pinch on my chain on my leg, but sometimes your body reaches a threshold where it's like either sit here and breathe or get out. And that's kind of where I am personally. I could probably try to do the left side. It'd be good to do it on the left side. So I'll do it one more time and see if I can get that last pose I'm talking about. And then I'm going to show the whole thing together. I'll probably show it together at least twice. I am going to go ahead and switch sides though and see if I do it on my left side. It feels a little bit better. So I'm here. Do a different shape. Straddling. I'm going to bring my left leg through this time for that first shape. I see you. Grabbing up, getting it in my thigh. You do a split. And then taking my headphones. Right leg now through, climbing up and posing. I do feel a little bit better on the side. So I'm going to grab my chains and open them up. And you can bring your chest through here. And then I can float. I think I've showed this pose before. Grabbing back onto my chains, bringing them together, settling back out, bringing that right leg out, and I'm here. I better get out. Okay. 1 second, Vera. I'm almost done, please. Okay, so now I'm going to show the whole combo together, and you'll see why they like mesh together well. I need to make sure I'm not ripping my pants. Also, I think I've already talked about that, but chains have literally ripped my pants in the past. Okay, so we're starting with our reverse waterfall. And I'm just going to talk it through, but you will see it. Once I finish that first part, you're ending in that reverse waterfall. So once you grab it with your hands and you sit up, the chain is naturally in front of our face. So that's how these two poses mesh together really well. We're already set up in that pose, that starting pose of the second sequence from the first sequence. So, right. Posing, or I'm going to do, we'll do it without a spin to start. So here, inverting and going to a reverse waterfall. Straddling and coming together for this pose. You can even sink your butt back in this one. My headphones just want to, and kind of like sink your butt back and make it bendy by doing this. This is like a contortion skill, but it still looks squat. I'm not spinning, but my butt is sitting back as my back is like arched. So there we go. Yeah. Ready. Okay. So now one foot's going to step on both chains, and we have this pose. Balancing here, and then coming up, turning for this pose. Rotate some more. And then we're going to come back forward, leg comes through, and I straddle back to our reverse waterfall. So now I'm going to take my hands to my chains. I like to bring them inside the chains, spread out as I sit. And now I'm here. Straddle, bring my left leg through because that one was a little bit easier for me. And I have this shape, my Delilah shape, or whatever you want to do here. Climbing up to get it through my thigh. Posing here, spread 3 legs through, and climb. Coming back down, and finding our exit. I don't know how these headphones feel so loose on me, only when I'm doing like chains and stuff, but they move around my head so much. That's why I like desperately need a microphone. Okay, so I'm gonna do the whole combo one more time, but I am gonna do it without the headphones because it's literally insane trying to keep these on my head. Okay. All right. And I begin with a slight spin this time. I noticed it. I didn't somehow move the camera up a little high. So I'll do it one more time. Also try to get a little bit of a better spin because towards the end I lost my spin, but oops. After I take a small breather. It should be good. All right. I need to spin this time. It's better than the last one. In here. Oh, we're gonna hope my headphones stay on. Here. Oh, I lost my chain, but that's okay. So I'm in my waterfall, kind of struggling. Found it. So I can now bring one leg in front with the chain. So now I'm back to this pose. And I lost it again. Kind of frustrating because the reason I lost it that time is because my headphones. It's okay. We're continuing here. Here. It's like, oh, I hurt my thigh. But it's okay. We're good. This is my right side this time. And coming out. Pulling my hair in the process. All right. Another squeezy pinchy chain combo for you. Thank you again. I especially thank everybody for their patience. I don't know if you can message me on Patreon, but I probably would have been like, hey, you're alive. But as far as I know, no one messaged me that. So thank you. I will be sending these videos via email, I think, because I can't imagine that Patreon will let me just like post past month. But thank you again.